بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's a real pleasure to be here today with you, and I'm really delighted that your Ustad Hamid, he named your madrasa, an academy, after Fatima Cates. And that means such a lot to me, and I'm sure such a lot to the people in Liverpool, because he's really a trailblazer in promoting Fatima. And it was because of your Ustad that we were able to recently go to her grave. We went on Thursday for the first time because I didn't know where she was buried, and it's in an unmarked grave. So we have the choir, so myself and one of the choir members, we went on Thursday morning. It was a really misty, cold day. It was really quite atmospheric at the cemetery, and it's in Anfield, which is very near Liverpool Football Club. And I don't know, does anyone support Liverpool? Yeah. So I don't know if you've noticed my drinking bottle's got Mohamed Salah on, so we're very honoured to have Mohamed Salah in Liverpool football team. And he goes to one of our mosques. He doesn't come to Quilliam Mosque, he goes to a mosque called Penny Lane Mosque. And so Liverpool is a vibrant place to be. It's got a good vibration, and I'm really proud to be from Liverpool and very happy to be here with you today. I actually had a very good friend from Walthamstow, mashallah. So I've been here before. I came to stay in her house here. I met her in Spain in a place called Rosales, where they do retreats, and there's a very educated scholar called Professor Tim Winters. He's a convert like me. He does weekends there on Imam Ghazali. Are any of you familiar with Imam Ghazali? Anyone? Okay, so he does a lot of books. He's done lots of books about purification, how to be a better person inwardly. So I used to go to Spain. I think I've been maybe 3 or 4 times, and I met a sister from Walthamstow called Fatima. Sadly, Fatima passed away a few years ago, and she had like a brain tumour. She may even, does anyone know her? Did anyone know her?
What's her surname?
I can't remember Fatima's surname, but we were close, and
I know who you, she's
yeah?
from here as well, yes.
Yeah.
I know Fatima, yeah.
So she's got a lot of brothers,
Yeah.
and I stayed at her house. So yeah, so I met her
She
there.
has some nephews and nieces who come here as well.
Yeah.
Mashallah, really?
I love you both.
Birbai, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
You're very close. Oh my god, I can't
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah. So to be honest, I wanted to visit her grave while I was here. I don't think I'll have.
You there if you like. It's not far from here.
Really?
Yeah. It's about
Okay,
10
I'd love to pay my respects because Fatima was a really pious woman. I think, like Fatima Cates, actually, she made a big impression on me. So I'm all for cheering on, you know, good, pious, strong Muslim women. So I have a passion. And Ustad, because he's made it easy for me, he's done a lot of research on Fatima Cates. It's my intention. When we went to the grave, I I sent my salams to Fatima. We apologised for not being there sooner because we didn't know where it was, and we made a pledge to her that we would honour her name and promote her legacy as much as we could, because it's a responsibility that I feel, especially as a convert from Liverpool, that I should do that. So that's why I'm here, and I've made the connection with yourselves, inshallah. So Liverpool has the Quilliam Mosque, and I've done quite a lot of work with Abdullah Quilliam Mosque. And the day it was first opened, Abdullah Quilliam, he fed all the local people, and I think it was Christmas Day actually, so he fed hundreds of people, and I try my best in my very limited way to emulate Abdullah Quilliam, which is it's hard to live up to, but I got involved with a charity. They came to our mosque and said, would you like to get involved? And it was called, back to football, it was called Fan Supporting Food Banks. They started collecting donations of food outside the match, outside the grounds, Liverpool and Everton, every weekend. When they started, it was like one wheelie bin, and they weren't getting much. But now it's a massive movement, and I've built a very good relationship with them. I go to, they've had 2 conferences. I've been to both of them, one in Manchester, one in Liverpool. I've spoken. I've been very involved with them, and I wanted to because it was in the spirit, I felt, of our tradition to help the needy, the downtrodden, the broken. And it was something that I think Abdullah Quilliam would have supported too. And we even set up a Feed the Homeless project in the Wirral with them, which is still going. Actually, it's moved to a different venue because we didn't have a kitchen in the mosque, but it was very successful. It was excellent for community cohesion. I think we actually won 5 awards in 6 months because of the impact it had. So I've done a fair bit at Abdullah Quilliam Mosque as a volunteer. And the choir was my other big project. I wanted to revive the tradition of singing, as Quilliam did. And it's really, I like the mosque at the moment because it's kind of half finished and it feels really atmospheric. And I wander around and it's, I can feel the energy. I can feel Abdullah Quilliam there, and I can feel that I think he's happy, you know, that we're singing. That's my, you might not be, but I feel that. So we revived the tradition of singing, and we would meet on a Friday before Jummah because it's a blessed time, in a blessed place in the mosque. It was encouraging the sisters to come in. It was giving them some time, and we would sing. So I was going to get us all, if you wanted to join in, would you like to join in with a song today? This one, I thought, it's a different one to the younger group actually. This is called, well, we called it My Lord. I don't actually know what it's actually called, but I found it online. There's a really nice community called the Sanad Collective in Toronto, I think they are. And I was watching one of their talks with their sheikh, their scholar, and they sang this at the end, and I thought, oh, that is so in the spirit of Abdullah Quilliam. Let's write the words down. So when I met our choir leader, Zainab, who's a very respected nasheed artist and drummer, we said, shall we do this? So we didn't even know who'd written it. And then we put it on Facebook. It was very like amateur recording with our phones. And immediately we got a response from Canada. And they were like, I can't believe you're singing that song that I wrote about Abdullah Quilliam in Quilliam Mosque. And they were so impressed that connection. It was like from Allah. And they said, you know, we'd love you to come to Canada. I mean, I was dying to go, but we never got there because we've all got kids and commitments. But it's my intention to get over there, inshallah. So they then sent a recording to us of them singing one of Abdullah Quilliam's original pieces, which is in this book here, which is full of Victorian hymns that they used to sing. But this one, I thought, today we'll sing the one that we chose, the one that made the connection with Canada. So we'll distribute them out. Can I have 2 helpers just to give these out? Do you 2 want to come up? You 2, yeah. Okay, so if you just give people a copy, if there's not enough, just share. Right, so just to let you know, I'm not a professional singer. I'm like the apprentice in the choir, so don't be like putting any pressure on me, huh? It means like I'm the student, so yeah, so don't be expecting too much, but I'll do my best, okay? But it's just to give you a flavour of what we sing and how it might have been in Victorian Liverpool with the congregation, people like me who were like from Liverpool becoming Muslim. So it's different, isn't it? It's a different vibe to what maybe your heritage, your tradition. So I just want you to taste that, okay? So don't judge my singing, okay? And I'm very tired. I've had a really busy week, so you'll have to just forgive me if okay, so Bismillah. My Lord, by your love for the one whom you sent us, let our hopes be fulfilled, Allah, and forgive us above you who gives with abundance, and shelter us from ill, Allah. My Lord, by your love for the one whom you sent us, let our hopes be fulfilled, Allah. and forgive us above, you who gives with abundance and shelter us from ill, Allah, and instill in our hearts the assurance to stand every test that you send our way, Allah, and inspire us to trust and to take care of us and provide for us every day, Allah. My Lord, by your love for the one whom you sent us, let our hopes be fulfilled, Allah, and forgive us above, you who gives with abundance and shelter us from ill, Allah. My Lord, as you gathered us here in this place and inspired our hearts to break, we trust that you hear and we know that you're near and you're with us each step of the way, Allah. My Lord, by your love for the one whom you sent us, let our hopes be fulfilled, Allah, and forgive us above, you who gives with abundance and shelter us from ill. My Lord, though we've strayed and have broken our vows, let us not be deprived of your grace, and allow us to come and be cleansed by repentance and continue to seek your face, Allah. My Lord, by your love for the one whom you sent us, let our hopes be fulfilled, Allah, and forgive us above, you who gives with abundance and shelter us from ill. Give faith to the wavering and strength to the weak, and give peace in every home, and feed all the needy and heal all the sick by the Master of the Green Dome, Allah. My Lord, by your love for the one whom you sent us, let our hopes be fulfilled, and forgive us above, you who gives with abundance and shelter us from ill, Allah. Thank you for your attention. Okay, so that's just a little taster of what we'd sing in the mosque on a Friday morning. We also sing traditional Arabic qasidas, and Zainab, who leads the choir, she's very professional. She leads the Burda, which is a 10th chapter poem. Is anyone familiar with that? About the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it's very professional when she's with us. She wanted to come, but she's got a young baby, so we've had a 6-month break from the choir, but we've recently started to practice again. So it's my hope anyway to do more work around Fatima Kate's, more research, and to visit more institutions, madrasas, to share her story, especially because I'm from Liverpool. So I don't know if anyone's got any questions. I'm happy to answer. Yeah.
Why was Fatima in Kate's grave unmarked?
That's a good question. I don't know. It belongs to Abdullah Quilliam, so I think Ustad, did he obviously pay for that?
Yeah, so it's a private grave which Abdullah Quilliam paid for, and somewhere in the documents it does mention he wasn't so deep down, and that's because a lot of the graves around her grave, they have like 3 people in there, in each grave, so they're family members. But with Fatima Elizabeth, it's only 1 grave. Mm-hmm. And because Abdullah Quilliam left Liverpool for the Ottoman Empire at the time, and then when he moved back into Woking, I don't think anyone went back there. And if they did have a tombstone, it would probably been a very simple one, and that's just kind of it's no longer there.
Yeah, so. But we have raised money actually for her stone. There's a convert group who are in the process. I've been making inquiries with the cemetery to see how we get permission to have that put on, and hopefully, inshallah, it won't be too difficult. So, yeah, we really want to honour her with a nice stone, inshallah, so people will be able to find her. But it is quite easy because of your Ustad's efforts to research it. You can find it quite easily. So, okay, so yeah. Pardon? I was talking about another Fatima, another good, pious woman who was from our time. So the Fatima I knew, she was from here, Walthamstow. She's buried here, and I'm hoping this afternoon, inshallah, I may be able to visit her. So the last time I was here, I was visiting her when she was alive. So that's a more contemporary Fatima. But she, again, was a great woman, mashallah. Yeah. I can't hear you, sorry. No, I didn't know anything about Fatima or Abdullah Quilliam when I first embraced Islam. I became, this is my son Isa, by the way. That's his water. No, it wasn't because of that. I discovered, the legacy of the Liverpudlian converts afterwards. When I discovered it quite quickly after I became Muslim, because there's a shop in Liverpool called the Olive Tree, and that's run by converts, and they were on a mission to try and revive her, the story as well. But Fatima Kate is quite a late discovery for me, and it's because of your teacher, because there wasn't very much, and we did a play at Abdullah Quilliam a couple of Ramadans ago, just a small amateur performance, and we invited a lot of non-Muslims, like MPs, councillors, the police. There was people, it was like a multi-faith thing, and I played Fatima. It was very small, it was literally like a paragraph, but I really got into character. I really loved it, and I just thought, wow, and I really feel like I relate a lot. She died on my son's birthday, which was the 31st of October. She lived in Anfield, where the football stadium is, but she also spent the last part of her life in West Kirby, which is a beautiful part of the Wirral. I lived in the Wirral for 30 years. It's very green and beautiful. It's just up the road from my dad. So I see lots of connections. She was a widower. She had a hard life, but she was educated, and she was the founder, a co-founder of the Quilliam Mosque, and she was the treasurer, mashallah. So I think it's good, for us to hear her story, not always his story. We often, I think when you hear it as well, stories through the eyes of women, we have a different perspective. So I think it's important, that we understand who the great women were in our times, and she was one of them, and inshallah we'll, honour her and tell more people about her. So, anybody else? Any questions? No? Okay, well, thank you all for your attention, and I hope to come back one day, inshallah, to see you, maybe do some kind of exchange. We have a really nice madrasa in Liverpool, and we have an adult one called Micro Madrasa. It's every Saturday, and you can learn Aqidah, Fiqh, Shamail, Seerah, spirituality, Arabic. It's a very sound program that our teachers have put together, and we have one for the children, for the teenagers, recently established. So it would be nice if you came. At the first Saturday of every month, you can come and attend the classes, the adult classes, for free. So if you ever want to visit us, we'd be really, delighted to have you. So thank you for your time.
And have a round of the mashallah. And I would just like to say thank you and jazakallah for giving us time and also talking to us about our mitzvah. And inshallah, this will be the first of many more occasions. And also we'll at some point have all the choir, inshallah. Inshallah,
it's a different feel. I mean, that was just me, but when you have Zainab, she's a real professional. We've been in some really good, excellent venues and performed with the best nasheed artists on the back of Zainab, because she's really respected. She lived in Yemen for 7 years in Tarim, and we're really honoured to have her as our choir leader. So I've only been singing for a year, as you could tell, but it's given me the confidence, and I really enjoy singing now. My son sings, so yeah, we hope that we'll build this relationship. I just wanted to give you a little gift, if I could, before we go, from Liverpool. Like I said, I'm really grateful to your Ustad, so we wanted to give you some local honey from Liverpool.
We'll share this with our staff.
So I'm really into honey and local honey. We have a book called The Lives of Man that I wanted to gift you, and this is really important as well because it talks about the different life stages of life, preconception, our time in the dunya, what happens when we die, and there's actually a chapter of what to do when you visit a grave, so it's really appropriate, you know, when you're visiting a grave to know what to do, what to recite. It's a beautiful book. I read this to my son when he was when I was carrying him, because babies in the womb, they hear everything. And I also told my grandmother about this book, and she took Shahada as a result, because she thought when you passed away, that was the end. So this book is very beloved to me, and I want to give that to your teacher. And finally, I know he likes these hats. I don't know if you've got the same one, but that's for you. That's connected to our Felicity House, the Micro Madrasa, the Greensville Trust. They really they go to Turkey actually every year. Is it a good size? And they have a program called the Fatua, and it's all about, you know, developing, like, my teacher would explain it better, but they do martial arts, archery, horse riding, all the prophetic sunnah sports, and they have classes. You can go, if anyone ever fancies going. They have a kids program, a women's program, they do calligraphy, mashallah. It's in like a 5-star accommodation. It's quite pricey, but that's to recognise the link that we have with the Micro Madrasa and to you, and inshallah we'll build on that relationship. So thank you. Suit you.